Have you ever wondered how the world is tackling the issue of carbon emissions? The answer lies in the sophisticated and intriguing realm of carbon markets. Delving into the world of carbon markets, one discovers a rich tapestry of different types, each with its own unique set of characteristics and mechanisms. The two primary types of carbon markets are regulatory and voluntary. Regulatory carbon markets, as the name suggests, are government-imposed systems that limit the amount of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases a company can emit. If a company exceeds this limit, it must purchase carbon credits, essentially a permit, to emit more. These credits are often purchased from companies that have not used all their allotted emissions. It's a system that encourages companies to reduce their emissions and fosters a marketplace where carbon becomes a traded commodity. On the other hand, voluntary carbon markets operate outside the realm of government regulation. Companies, individuals, and other entities choose to offset their carbon emissions by purchasing carbon credits from projects that reduce or remove greenhouse gases. These projects may involve renewable energy, energy efficiency, or reforestation efforts. Voluntary carbon markets provide an avenue for those who wish to take additional action beyond what is required by law. The differences between these two types of markets are stark. Regulatory carbon markets operate under strict government regulation and enforcement, creating a mandatory cap-and-trade system. Voluntary carbon markets, in contrast, are driven by the desire to do good rather than the need to comply with legal requirements. But despite their differences, both types of carbon markets share a common goal: to reduce the amount of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. They both operate under the principle that putting a price on carbon emissions will incentivize reduction efforts. Let's not forget the role of carbon offsets in these markets. Carbon offsets are measurable, verifiable reductions in greenhouse gas emissions created by one party that can be purchased and used by another party to offset its own emissions. They are a key component of both regulatory and voluntary carbon markets. Regulatory and voluntary carbon markets, though distinct, are both integral parts of the global strategy to combat climate change. They provide businesses, governments, and individuals with the tools to reduce their carbon footprints and contribute to a healthier planet. In summary, regulatory carbon markets use government-imposed limits and trade systems to reduce emissions, while voluntary carbon markets allow entities to offset their emissions by investing in greenhouse gas reduction projects. Both types of markets use carbon offsets as a means to achieve their goals. As we continue to grapple with the pressing issue of climate change, the importance of understanding and participating in carbon markets cannot be overstated. They are a vital tool in our collective effort to create a sustainable future. Remember, every effort counts in the fight against climate change, and carbon markets are a pivotal part of that fight.